offices in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland. It's time to get warmed up for all the Texas high school football. Week 7 of the high school football season is almost here, and hopefully we'll see some performances like Deshaun Watson's last Sunday, because 400 yards and 5 touchdowns is definitely MVP bobblehead worthy. Speaking of MVPs, recent bobblehead winner Jalen Milroe of Katy Tompkins is back in action tonight against Mayde Creek at Rhodes Stadium. Tompkins is 5-1, but Mayde Creek just may be one of the area's best surprises. The Rams enter this contest with a perfect 5-0 record after winning just 3 games all of last season. It's been more than a decade since Mayde Creek last finished with a winning record, but a victory tonight would guarantee a winning season and go a long way towards helping the Rams earn a playoff berth. That's easier said than done against a Tompkins squad that is averaging more than 55 points a game and whose only defeat was a 5-point loss to Katy. Tomorrow night, another up-and-coming program faces a tough test as 4-1 Clair Falls visits 5-1 Dickinson. Clair Falls was our Week 2 Geico Team of the Week after the Knights started 2-0 for the first time in school history. Clair Falls is now 4-1 and 1-1 in district play and is averaging more than 41 points a game this year. But the Knights face what might be their toughest challenge of the season thus far, trying to slow the high-powered Dickinson offense. The Gators are scoring more than 44 points per contest this fall, led by senior quarterback Mike Welch, who accounted for 5 total touchdowns last week. Dickinson is ranked 16th in the state and has reeled off 4 consecutive wins after a Week 2 loss to 3rd-ranked Allen. Now that we're a couple of weeks into league play for most districts across the area, you can start to see a little separation atop the standings as district title races begin to unfold. In 26A, Fort Bend, Travis, Ridgepoint, and Bush all sit at the top of the standings at 2-0. Ridgepoint and Bush meet tomorrow night at Hall Stadium in what promises to be a hard-fought affair, with the last 2 matches between these 2 teams being 3- and 4-point wins by Ridgepoint. The Panthers have had a stranglehold on Fort Bend ISD in recent years, riding a 26-game win streak in district games. But the Bush Broncos are using a stingy defense this season, off to a 4-1 start while allowing less than 12 points a game. Expect this one to go down to the wire. Another district race that should be interesting all season long is the highly competitive 10-5A Division I. The top of the standings there is more jam-packed than I-10 at 5 o'clock. 4 teams, yeah that's right, 4 teams are currently tied atop the league standings at 2-0. 2 of those teams, Friendswood and Foster, meet tomorrow night in our game of the week. Friendswood is a perfect 5-0, and the Mustangs' defense hasn't allowed more than 17 points in any game this season. But Friendswood was also 5-0 heading into this game last year, but struggled down the stretch, losing 4 of the last 5 and missing the playoffs. You know the Mustangs are hungry for a strong finish in 2019. On the flip side, you have 4-1 Foster, who is ranked 7th in the state. The Falcons' only loss this year came to Class 6A Fort Bend Travis. Since that defeat, Foster has won 3 straight by an average margin of victory of 36 points. The quarterback-receiver duo of Ryan Stubblefield and Cody Jackson is capable of scoring from anywhere on the field and will certainly test the Friendswood secondary. You can, of course, catch the highlights of each of those games and a whole lot more this week on Chevy's Inside High School Sports. That, of course, is Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. on KHU11. But to hold you over until then, how about we attempt the extra point? Lamar has been known for its DBs, and this ex-Texan is proving just that. Texas's Deshaun Jamison has one of college football's most amazing athletic plays of 2019. I know this isn't people singing or dancing for the extra point, but I thought this was a pretty cool tweet. Teams who have given up less than 50 points this season. In 5 and 6A, there are several Houston football teams that we just have to highlight for the extra point. including Shadow Creek, Westfield, and Friendswood. That's all we have for this week's episode. To stay in the loop on all things inside high school sports, follow our social media accounts. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That'll get you ready for the best 30 minutes of sports TV. Chevrolet's Inside High School Sports on KGU11 at 8:30 a.m., hosted by Matt Musil. Thank you for watching The Warmup, presented by your local Geico agents in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland. To find more information or to get a quote, go to geico.com/Houston. I'm Ashley Bullington, and Week 7 is upon us. I hope you're warmed up and ready to go for all of the Gridiron action.